What happens when you die? It's a bit of an irony, but it's one of the great questions of life. What happens next? A great number of philosophers that teach that there's nothingness. You have this life, you live, you die, and that's it. There are others that teach about an afterlife, and there are still other philosophies and worldviews that teach that you actually become a god after you die. You know, I grew up in a Christian tradition where I was taught that after you die, you go straight to heaven, this bliss of perfect living. But as a teenager, I began thinking about this and contemplating the very logic of that idea of going straight to heaven. And it began to be quite illogical. I had 3 younger brothers, and those 3 younger brothers I loved, and we would play sports together. And I began to think about the reality that if I were to die and then go straight to heaven and became this kind of floating entity, that I could be there while my brothers played in the pool or while they played football or baseball or basketball, but I couldn't participate. I began to consider that that wouldn't be heaven at all, that in fact would be hell. The other reason that death was so prevalent in my mind is that a number of events, a number of things had happened in my life, and I actually considered committing suicide because I felt like life wasn't worth living. I was on a quest to find answers. And ironically enough, even though most of the Christian world teaches that you go straight to heaven, that's not in fact what the Bible teaches. The Bible teaches that when you die, well, it's like creation in reverse. It's like you coming into existence, but in reverse. You see, the body, according to the Bible, is composed of the dust of the ground and the breath from God. When you die, the Bible says that the dust returns to the earth and your breath returns to God. And death is this unconscious rest awaiting the next event. There's no confusion about that. And that confusion gives comfort in knowing that you have nothing to fear when you die because it's an unconscious state. There's nothing to fear for your family. Maybe you have a mother, a father, a brother, or a sister who has died. You don't have to fear anything. They're not in heaven, they're not in hell, but rather they're in an unconscious state, awaiting the next event, that next event where they will actually awaken.